chose to come close to me and we celebrate this one together.
This is Paddock 43, the podcast, your weekly rundown giving you all things F1 from both on and off the track.
From races, trades, rumours, the lifestyle, and all the things that come with the F1 world.
We are Amy, Elle, and Pat. Let's get into it. It's been a huge week.
Ooh.
Amy, how are you feeling?
I have never felt more horrible in my life.
I don't think I've ever seen you eat so many lollies in a recording session.
I'm like, I need sugar. I'm shaking. Just after the whole entire week. I am exhausted. And then I went out last night. So sorry, guys.
She just had to cap it off. But
I did.
And in case you didn't know, we're back and we are still coming off a high of Aus GP week.
And as Pat and I said before, if we didn't have work today and obviously Pat's pregnant, we 100% would have been there with you.
And
I
like,
was I had FOMO, to be entirely honest. I was sitting at home with my what did I get? I don't know, noodles or whatever. And I was like,
I want to be out.
I was like, I didn't want to leave, but I also I knew I had to. I was at that point where I'm like, it's about to get
And it did.
I got home,
real dangerous.
Sat on the couch with Peter. Actually, sorry, I showered. I was like, Peter, I need to shower. I showered. Then he went out and got us McDonald's. And I was sitting on the couch eating my large double cheeseburger meal and 24 nuggets. And I was thinking, what's Amy doing? Where is she? I wish I could be a fly on the wall right now because I want to know what everyone's doing.
I remember we went to go to Baby Pizza. This was at like 10:30 or 11. And it was shut. So then we walked down Chapel Street to find food. Went to some 24-hour diner and I'm like, I have a margarita and spaghetti. Stunning. And then I went to a
combo.
certain nightclub in here that I don't normally go to. Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's that time of the week again.
We are back in This Is a Studio.
Located in Paran, our beautiful This Is a Studio family here have you covered.
From all the gear, studio space, editing help, they have you sorted.
And don't forget the lollies. The lollies are always here.
Absolutely.
I ate them all.
Let's get back to the app. Well, for those who haven't picked up on it, we have had, and maybe you weren't following us on Instagram.
If you weren't, you probably should.
Yeah, because you're missing out on some amazing content because we've had the most incredible, phenomenal week.
I think as horrible as I feel now, that was the best week of my life.
Agreed.
Okay, so to
The best
recap,
week.
to start,
Best
9
Wednesday.
a.m.
What
on
did we do
Wednesday
Wednesday?
morning,
Birthday
we're
week
all
ever.
getting our hair and makeup done because at 12 o'clock, we had our very first F1 driver interview, Esteban Ocon, with BWT. That was amazing. They got us along to interview him and Fabian Coulthard as well.
Yep.
And then we hightailed it to Chadstone because
I was hosting the Puma Mercedes event with George Russell, and
So-
oh my God, like I couldn't stop shaking.
Yeah.
The worst thing is like from my tumor, my partner and I call it gimpy. So I have a gimpy hand. That's what we call it. And when I get nervous, it shakes even more, and I can't control it. Like I literally cannot control it. And I was
then
trying to
I think
hold my like elbow into my hip to like support it. And I was, isn't working. And then my phone turned off.
Well,
yeah,
my
there's a lot of
questions on
technical
it.
issues in
Yeah,
there.
there was a few
But
technical
then
issues.
I think once you sat down, and obviously I think George is one of those people that just like makes you feel so comfortable. It was like, actually, no, I'm good.
Yeah, because then I was using the PR girl's phone to do the questions and her phone kept locking and I was like, oh my God, like why is
I
this
reckon
happening?
You nailed that interview though. You were
Yeah.
really good. And we were like, those proud mums. We
Biggest
couldn't be
fans.
more front row and center if we tried. That I'm 6'2" that I eventually was like, this is actually really selfish of me. So I ended up moving
Elle
back.
moved back.
like
I was
the
like,
poor people
I'm gonna
behind
stay at
Elle.
the front. I was like, I'll stay at the front.
here.
And then after that, we all had to quickly rush home. We all had about half an hour to get ready because we had Glamour on the Grid, which it's not a international event. It's
I'm
something that
surprised.
Melbourne does where they have a black tie event in the pit. And
Into the lounge
into the
and the
lounge, and the
paddock.
paddock. And
Kind of introduces the Aus GP F1 weekend.
It
Yeah.
sets the standard of sort of that the hospitality partners and the fashion and the glitz and the glamour.
I'm surprised no
food.
one else really does it.
I know.
Yeah.
It would be a very
Why?
high demand event.
Also, a
think
little
they should.
side note, just a funny thing. We all had our hair and makeup done before. I know you mentioned this before the BWT interview, but we
very
were
funny.
in these cute little like BWT polos, but then up top it was like full glam hair, full glam makeup. It didn't really match, but we still had the best time. And we didn't really touch on about how awesome Esteban was
Yes.
and how easy to talk to he was. Shout out. Don't know if you're listening. Also the whole Alpine BWT team. Incredible.
They were
They were
phenomenal. And
amazing.
then they looked after us for the rest of the week.
Yes. Yeah.
much.
Shout out to our little BWT
Especially
fam.
Katie. Katie was
Yes.
an absolute legend. So Katie, if you're listening
Katie
to
at
this,
Alpine.
we love
you.
So then Thursday morning,
But then I remember I also hosted with KO. I was
Yes.
running around doing all
Of
the
course.
Glad on the
Yes.
Grid interviews, which
you're
was
working. I
fun.
keep forgetting that.
Yeah. Oh my God. After that day, I was like, Jesus, bloody Christ.
Yeah. You're done.
What
You're
a
ready
day.
for
But those
Literally.
interviews were so fun.
Yeah.
It was so much fun to do. They got to a point, I was like, this is kind of nice. It's kind of chill. And then everyone started coming. And it was like, you're like grabbing this person and this person,
Yeah.
this person. And the producer's like, yes, blah, 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 is it football? And I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Let me just ask
But we
him
got
a random
there.
question.
Yeah. I was
Also,
like,
as
"No,
well, you know, we were right on track basically. We were kind of like in the pit lane, and it was cold.
it was
It was
freezing.
really cold.
It was cold,
It was cold.
but it was
Breathe.
fantastic,
It was
and that's
cold.
how we kickstarted our GP week.
Mhm.
And then it kickstarted even more. So when we're already
Roll
on
into
like this
Thursday.
absolute high, we roll into Thursday. We're just having a nice walk around, checking out everything on the park. And then
Stunning
we see
weather.
some friends and they're like, hey, come in the paddock. And we're like, oh, great time. And we turn around and we're like, oh. And this is our namesake for the episode. This is why. Because we turn around and we say, oh, Ted Kravitz, can we get a photo with you? And what does he do?
Got to mention a little detail. We were decked out in Paddock 43 merch.
Yes.
Yes.
Decked out in our cute little merch, which, yes, a lot of you have been asking about when you can get your hands on it. And yes, we will be
We're working on it.
working on it. Like
It's
we
coming,
need,
it's coming.
need to get over this week and then organize it properly. So,
I need
It
my
will be on
brain
sale.
cells to merge back
Yeah.
together.
but yes, our dear friend Ted said, hold on a second. I know you girls. And we were like, no, you don't. You don't know us. It's like,
He spent like 10 minutes trying to find the episode. He was like, which one is it? I will find it. And then he clicked on our just on our
it was like
main
a couple of
page.
episodes. Yeah.
And it said
And it said resume.
yeah.
We're like, you do listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
You're not just saying that to be nice.
We
So
had a great little chat with him as well.
it was such like a nice, like solidifying moment to know that
Yeah.
we have that international audience, especially from someone with such a significant figure,
Yeah.
which was great. And then we also got a million selfies with all the drivers. that
Yeah.
were coming.
Yeah.
It was the best time to be in the
And
paddock.
do you remember as well when we walked past Alpine? Again, shout out to Katie, our good friend Katie. She ran outside. She's like, everyone inside's asking, who are these girls? What are they wearing? She's like, I know them. So it was
because it was dead quiet in the paddock. It was
yeah,
only
it
the
was,
teams.
it was
'cause
lunchtime.
No one's really, the paddock hospitality isn't open on a Thursday. So it was the best time for us to go in and
They
just
were all
sort
kind of
check everything
finishing
out.
their lunch, and then
And
lovely Gunter Steiner gave me a little bueno bar.
I can't believe you
That's
ate
right.
it. I would have like
Kept it.
framed it.
He was like, I was like, oh, yummy, you've got chocolate. He's like, do you want it? It's like, actually, I do.
Like,
Yeah, I
do.
need some sugar.
sugar.
So it was a great event. And then you guys went to Patron, and then I went to Government House.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Caught
we
up with
did,
Ted and Gunther again there.
Yes.
Then what are we, Friday
Yeah,
morning?
we kind of divided and conquered.
Yep.
We went to Patron dinner. Yep. You went to Government House.
Yep.
You caught up with Ted again.
Yes. Gave him a tour of Government House.
Ted Kravitz.
Yep. Spoke to Gunther and he said, oh, you scrub up well. And he goes, yeah, I like your merch. 'Cause I think he was a bit like, you looked different
Different.
today. He's like, you
Very
scrubbed up
different.
well. And I was like, oh,
You were
how
a
bad did
promo
I
girl
look?
before.
Yeah. And then not Monday morning.
No, jeez.
Friday
Friday
morning.
morning.
Where are we? We're all in Mercedes.
I was about to say, I was like, where were we Friday? Yes,
Yeah, Mercedes. Toto Wolff.
Yeah. Toto Wolff popped in for a chat, which was really nice. That man just has such a presence.
Such, yeah.
Like he walks into the room and just commands attention.
And it was great
It's
watching
amazing.
practice all day. And then we went to, Pat had to go to bed, but we went to Crown.
Yes.
I was like, what did
I was like, I'm sorry. I'm
Yes.
sorry F1 experiences,
No.
but this
Well,
Pregiegi was a
spoiled
You
tiny
Nice
missed
one.
out on the
holidays.
craziest magician.
Magician. Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't. I still have nightmares.
I'm
I
still waiting
can't-
for
I
him
can't do
just
it.
to like appear.
Is
At
that
the end.
photo still on his Instagram page?
Why don't you guys
So
explain?
you explain the.
Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much he's holding up his phone. So he gives me a deck of cards and he goes, pick a card.
It's
Pick-
gone.
Oh, this is creepy.
That's so weird.
Picks a card and I'm like, and he's like, yeah, remember it. And I remember the card. And then he goes, now what's your favorite number? I say my favorite number is 4. So he pulls out a list of notes and he's like, you scroll through it. He's like, find number 4 and there's a celebrity name next to that. And then whilst I'm remembering my card and the celebrity name, he goes, now I bet I took a photo of this person holding that card a month ago. And he goes, Amy, pull up my Instagram on your phone. So she does. And he goes, go to the, XYZ post. And he goes and swipe right on it. And it was Mike Tyson holding up the 4 of
But
hearts.
it's not there anymore.
But now it's, which is creepy. So apparently this guy is in Vegas right now.
It's in Vegas now.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I think he's like a full.
But
full
then-
Magician.
How did he get there? Did he fly?
And then he did creepy things like he'd put a deck of cards in Amy's hand and it turned into a plastic box.
It was
We were like
so
screaming.
freaky.
We were like, what is happening?
Literally, I've got reaction videos and we're all like, what?
I did not sleep, and which wasn't great because then on Saturday we had such a crazy busy day where Pat, you and I got to go for a grid walk before
Yes,
F3,
we did. So cool.
which was super exciting. Like just standing there with a safety car and all the F3 drivers driving
Safety
in.
car driver was so lovely. He
Yeah.
was like, do you want to come in? I'm like, yes. He's like, no.
Yeah.
You can't,
You can't come
that.
in.
It was such a tease. It was like,
Such
shut
a
up.
tease.
Look, can I just sit in there for a second?
Yeah.
He's like, no.
I really
Just
want to laugh in a
drive
safety
like
car.
40 Ks or something.
Yeah.
Or
no,
at least-
I
or at
want
least just like to
240.
sit in there.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to sit.
Yeah.
But no. None
Gosh,
of that.
but could
none
you
of that's
imagine?
allowed.
I'm sorry, but I feel like my intrusive thoughts would take over and I'd just be like, I want to take off, drive a car.
Good thing it was on the other side. Oh no, it's,
No,
no,
no.
they do drive.
No, he was in the driver's seat on the.
Yeah, that's right. No, he was. I was trying to remember. And then what did we do the rest of Saturday? I can't even
So I
remember.
was saying
We
to
had
you guys.
practice
Yeah.
and quali.
Practice and quali.
And
We
qualifying.
watched around. Shout out to Sam from the DRS podcast.
Yes.
15-year-old Sam. He was correspondence for Channel 10, so we hung out with
Yeah.
him for a little bit.
he did
which was nice.
amazing. He did so
Yeah,
well.
listening to him, he did really well.
He was commentating for
It's practice
was it-
2?
yeah,
three?
oh,
Yeah.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
practice 2.
I think
Yep.
that
I can't
sounds about
remember
right.
which one it was.
Yep.
Yep. And then we all enjoyed St Hugo's wine, a bit of a
Yeah.
tasting.
I had a
Is
smell.
that when I went to? I watched the watched
Ooh.
quali from the Red Bull Garage.
Yeah,
Yes.
Amy got prime position viewing.
The best. It was so good.
And what
It's
did you
just- It's
witness
just like
as well?
a whole other like world.
Yeah.
Like you go outside and it's just chaotic. You go in there, everything is like dead silent. And the pipe broke at one point. There was like a pipe up in the
Yeah.
ceiling and
Oh.
it broke and it was going like shh, and everyone was like, and then I was standing there. I was like, oh my god, am I gonna die?
And also,
If
what
I
did
die in the
you
Red Bull Garage, that's kind of okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I'm
I
okay
mean,
with
I
that.
wouldn't want you to die, but
I know, I don't want to die.
Also,
But-
remember what you witnessed in there.
Max's record-breaking lap.
Mm-hmm.
That was insane. I mean, he's on the radio. He seemed so frustrated and angry. It was like the back. I think it was like the rear tires and stuff. But now I'm convinced that it means something else. It has to be a code word, surely.
What do you mean?
Because then he did 115, just like pulled
When
it out
he's
of his
frustrated,
ass.
but
When he's
that's what-
frustrated.
That's what we've
Or is he
always
doing like
said.
reverse psychology on himself?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, that's what we've always said, that it also would be to throw out the other radios because anyone can tune into the
Yeah,
radios.
because anyone can hear it.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, like the first Q1 and Q2, he was, what was he, like third and fourth
Yeah.
around then?
Yeah, because Charles had a bit of a fuck up. But
yeah,
I think
'cause he
Charles
abandoned the lap, didn't he?
Yeah, Charles could have qualified in first place, but he could have gotten pole, but he had a bit of a fuck.
Yeah, but Max's time.
Oh, speaking of
Yeah.
fuck ups in quali, Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh,
That
yeah.
watching that lap time deleted. I mean, he would have known in that moment. All 4 wheels went off.
Yeah.
He went right off on that turn.
And we did see him afterwards in his post-quali interview.
Yeah, we're watching him get
Like,
that done.
could we get a photo with him? Probably not.
Not the best time.
Not at the time.
Let's not do that.
Not the best time.
Yeah.
But we were just saying, like, oh, it's just that home race kind of curse. Like, although Oscar didn't have that.
Yeah, Oscar has the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. although yeah, we'll get into that. But
But then it was race day and we got to go with Toyota,
yes,
which was super, super exciting.
they put on such an amazing day for us. Big shout out to
Drove
Toyota
us-
Yeah,
as well.
so we got picked up in their, which car was it? What car did you
Toyota
guys
It was
get
a
picked up?
Yaris. We
You
got
were
picked up in a
Yeah,
Yaris.
basically a spruced up Yaris.
It was
Yeah.
a
It's got a nice engine.
it was a GT.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they're GT cars. And we got dropped off at is
I
it
actually-
Matilda.
It
Side
was
note,
such a zippy car.
I want to have a go driving that car. It also only comes in manual, so I can drive.
Which is
that car.
amazing because you don't find manual.
No,
You don't really find manual cars anymore.
Literally, yeah. But yeah, so zippy,
Mm.
so zippy and like comfortable and looks so well designed. And I mean, Elle, you're tall, so you can give your opinion. But I feel like for a small car, it does not feel small.
No, it does.
Feel spacious.
It does. I'm 6'2".
You come from.
And
You
you
have a
drive a
very big
Defender.
car.
Yeah, I drive a big car because I'm a big person.
Yeah.
And I also can feel when the cars are small for me. Like for me, it's a roof thing. Like my head was close to the roof. Like I can still drive it, but it's just
Yeah.
I'm spoilt for choice now.
Yeah.
I like the space around my head.
Well, I'm normally a big car kind of girl, but obviously I'm much shorter than you. But I actually felt like it was a real comfy car. And our first driver, Neil and Hilton, they zipped us around and we had a
fully zipped us around at one point. I was
delicious
like,
breakfast
Jesus.
at Matilda,
Yeah, and then we went in and
fueled for the day.
had such an awesome time, didn't
Yeah,
we? Like,
filmed some stuff for the Gazoo racing,
Yeah.
Yep.
and then just ran around like crazy people.
literally. Like, I just don't remember where the hours went.
Yeah, no, it went so
It's
fast,
so fast.
way too fast.
Finally could have a drink, so we did,
Well,
which
I
was
did not.
which was great.
Stuck on my soda
Too
waters.
many.
And
But
then
I was saying, I think it's like one of the first Grand Prix where I haven't had a champagne since I don't know how long I can
Yeah.
remember. And I've realized you're literally high on life. You're high on life. Like,
Just running off adrenaline.
it's running off adrenaline.
I feel
exactly.
like you can watch the race a little bit more when you're on the track, though, if you're not
yeah.
drinking and like sort of having that social element.
Yeah.
Like where I was for majority of the race, I couldn't watch it. Like there's screens everywhere,
Yeah.
but people are trying to talk to you,
Yeah.
and it's
That's
a
what
bit
I found
like
because when we were on the roof, I lost everyone at one point.
I think
And
we
then
all
I was like,
separated.
Where'd everyone go?
yeah, we were all by ourselves at one point.
I think
Yeah.
especially at the beginning of the race, we all separated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was by myself. I mean, I think we're all on the balcony, so above the pits.
I found you on the balcony at
Yeah?
the start, and then I
Yes.
left, and then I lost you again.
I was sort of like pushing
Yeah.
through, like, excuse me, please let the pregnant woman through. And I was right above like the Red Bull garage, basically. And I mean, I don't know if it's pregnancy hormones, but as soon as it was like lights out and the race started, I'm even going to cry right now. I genuinely was like, I felt so emotional.
Yeah.
I literally felt emotional and I just had my phone out. And then obviously we need to discuss what happened.
I like ruined all my videos because I'm screaming in half of it. I'm like, can I shut up?
well, 4 laps in. Oh, was it lap 5?
I think it was, 4
Three.
or
It was lap
yeah,
three.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Lap
could
three.
not have been in a better position right above the Red Bull garage
Yeah.
because we just watch
History.
Max, and it was history.
History
It
of Max.
genuinely
History.
was.
DNF.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I felt emotional about that.
Yeah.
Because we watch his car come in and it's smoking and you're seeing all the marshals run out with their fire
Actually, although one thing we
extinguishers.
should mention before that happened was lap 2, Carlos actually overtook Max.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he did too.
Yeah.
He did
Yep.
too. And the crowd lost
Lost
their
it.
shit.
They did. I've
Whoever
never seen it cheer
says
like
when
that.
people
Yeah.
say, no, I like watching it at home. Like I prefer just like sitting on my couch watching it. I'm like, there is nothing better than being
Being
there with
amongst it,
110,000 people
Yeah.
screaming at the same time.
Yeah. And
It
the,
was
the beauty
electric.
as well is having, I think as well, like the mix of both in the sense of you can still see the screens on the other side of the stands and then you're feeling and I kept talking about the smells.
Oh, the smell of the
Yeah,
rubber.
you kept saying you wanted to bottle
Bottle
up
up
the
the
smell. And I'm
smell.
like,
Yeah.
this is probably like the worst thing
Yeah.
for pregnancy right now.
I'm like,
Yeah.
all the
burnt
fuel.
rubber and fuel.
love it.
But yeah, so basically Max, we hear screaming and everyone's going wild. And for a second, I'm trying to look at the screen. I'm like, hold on a second. Is that Max or is that Checo? Is that Max or is it Checo? I'm like, yeah, it's Max.
It was
It's
a
like I
satisfying
said
moment.
afterwards, he went too hard on his qualifying lap and
Yeah.
just destroyed his engine.
Well, at least he got something there.
Well,
And then
Yeah.
we saw Alex, obviously.
I was just
competing,
going to say
so-
about what actually happened to Max.
Yeah.
So basically, Max's brakes got stuck on the rotor and overheated to the point where they caught on fire and melted.
so his brakes just couldn't cool back down.
No.
No.
And then do you remember, because
Damn.
yeah, we were kind of all separate, but in the same area. I could hear Max's car coming into the pit.
Mm.
I could smell Max's car in the pit, and then I could just see clouds of smoke. And I just thought, our prayers have been answered.
That sounds so bad. No,
It
it was
sounds
just
so
because
bad.
of us for a DNF
Do you know-
like a
yeah.
few times, and we wanted to see someone else win.
And we don't wish poorly on anyone.
No.
But I was talking about this with my mum before, and it's like, no, I don't wish poorly on anyone. And Max is going to win the championship this year. So it's great to see him not win a race. And like, bit of excitement. And obviously we'll get into all the excitement, but so good.
And then we got to see Alex obviously compete for Williams because Logan Sargent got the boot late Friday night after
Yes.
Williams didn't bring a spare chassis.
Yeah.
Because they can't afford it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think we forgot to mention in practice 1, Albon crashed. I think it was right.
Was he
turn
turn 6?
Turn 6.
Yeah.
Was that turn
Turn 8.
6?
It was turn
Turn
8.
eight. Turn
Turn
eight.
8. Basically right in front of the Mercedes lounge,
Yeah.
and damaged his chassis. And the lovely team at Williams didn't bring a spare one.
So apparently Williams were negotiating all Friday and Saturday
Yeah.
with all the other teams in garages, trying to see if they could get this one part because they knew all the other teams had it. It was one part for the chassis, and no one would do it.
No one would give it to
Oh.
him.
They were bargaining and barting and everything. Bartering? Not barting.
Bargaining,
Yeah.
bartering.
And they wouldn't do it. So I thought that was, quite interesting. I mean, I do think maybe Mercedes being, their semi-sister team could have
Yeah.
flung them something, but I also understand why they wouldn't want to help.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's competition. So
Yeah.
And what are your guys' thoughts? So obviously, even though Albon crashed, Logan got the boot.
yeah. Like
Thoughts?
I
it's
think Alex is the better driver 9 times out of 10. So
yeah. Like
Yeah.
I do agree with that,
Yeah.
but it just sucks because it's like
Sucks.
Logan had to cop Alex's
Yeah.
mistake.
Yeah.
Now that's not fair.
and you've
But
flown to
then-
Melbourne as well
Yeah.
for that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like they wouldn't really care about that. They have their private jets.
Yeah.
They're like whatever.
Yeah,
True.
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 They're not slumming it in economy.
Yeah.
You never know. They might be. But
I wonder if Logan was one of the boys that was staying on for another week. I hope for his sake he was.
Yeah.
a few of them are in town.
Yeah.
And then Alonso and George. So Alonso obviously lost a few places.
But we
few
didn't actually find
penalties.
out until after the race.
Yeah, so it's believed that Alonso purposefully impeded on George.
Oh.
But it doesn't, to me, it doesn't look purposeful.
What did they say? Like, how do they think that he purposely did it?
That he deliberately was interfering with George's braking into turn 6, but he was like, that Alonso was simply just trying to get a different line into the corner.
yeah.
But they think that Alonso was like trying to, stop George from doing that.
It was a
It
pretty
kind of
dramatic.
looks like a bit of a misunderstanding.
Yeah, I think so. I think it just looked a lot more dramatic than what it was. I think, was it lap 50 or 51?
Yeah, it was right towards the end.
Oh, it was
I mean,
like 56 or something.
Yeah.
There was only like 2 laps left.
the media went pretty hard. They were like,
52
"Ooh,
laps
this
in
is an
total."
embarrassing day for Alonso and Aston Martin." I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
that's awkward." I mean, besides those problems, we also then had, steak, sour, kick, sour, steak, sour, kick, whatever you want to call
Steak,
them.
kick,
Steak.
the villain.
Yeah.
The villains.
Love you, Beltry.
God, they had some problems with their pit stops, though, as much as we love them. They
Yeah.
were,
See, I didn't even see the pit stops.
Yeah,
I didn't see any of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
copped it.
gap. So apparently it's to do with the threading of the nuts not doing too well at the moment.
The what?
So
The
threading
what?
of like the nuts and the
Oh,
bolts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Something's not connecting there. So they had those issues, I think, in Saudi and Bahrain, and it's obviously continued in Australia.
I mean, it's race 3. Surely you've had some learnings.
Yeah, you'd think, but
I wanted
I
to
don't
say
know.
though, actually, just quickly circling back to George's crash, I was kind of looking at footage of it last night in detail.
Mm.
And have you seen the footage? I actually didn't hear this, but George was literally, the car is on its side in the middle of the track, and he's
Yeah.
yelling,
Red
"Red flag,
flag.
red flag, red flag!" And you can sense his fear.
Well, you look at the two drivers that passed away from a similar incident where
Yeah.
their car bounced back onto the track and they got hit by
Someone
another
crashed,
car. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, the
So you can
fear
understand
that you would
why.
feel. Yeah.
But also my question is, why has that corner not been changed yet? Because the same thing happened last year with Albon. Turn 6.
Do they want to keep it
Is
entertaining?
it Albon? Yes. Yeah, turn 6 into the barrier, into the gravel track, then bounce back onto the track. It shouldn't do that.
No, they shouldn't. But maybe they want to keep it entertaining.
Also, what's really sad is when I think it was on Wednesday when I spoke to George. Turn 6 was his favourite corner.
Oh, he did say that.
Yeah, he said turn 6
Oh,
was his
he
favourite
did when
corner.
he was on,
Yeah.
on the sim.
Yeah, I asked him. I was like, "What's your favourite?" And he was like, "Yeah, turn 6." And I was like, "Oh,
Shit, there you go.
yeah."
Whoopsie.
Oh no.
I mean, I think there could be a track improvement there as well. Turn
Yeah.
10 was also copying a bit of
there was a lot going
in
on there.
practice in quali. There's a lot of gravel flying up
Yeah.
and about.
Broken champagne
Some
glasses.
broken champagne glasses. We apparently hear.
Some broken windows. Some broken car windows.
Oh, by the way, speaking of broken, fractured relationships, Yuki has unfollowed Daniel on Instagram.
What? I want to know what happened.
Something's
It's like
going
a
on.
PR stunt.
So I
Yeah,
saw Yuki after the race yesterday, and I tried to get a little soundbite with him or even just a photo. And everyone was like, no,
Yeah.
like clearing him away. And he was not in a good mood. But
Fair
hey,
enough.
he did well in the race.
Yeah.
He still dominated the middle field.
I was just thinking about Yuki and when we got a photo with him and I was like, Yuki, you know, I'm so used to hanging out with all these tall people. It's really nice being someone who's on my level. He's like, yeah.
Yay, so excited.
But definitely the highlight of the race.
I mean, you can see me.
Yeah.
I don't think she's taken that jacket off.
No.
I basically
You
slept in
slept
my
in it.
Ferrari jacket. Yes.
The superhuman.
2 Ferrari wins and oh my Lord. Was I crying? Yes.
Oh, I have a beautiful video of Pac with like one tear. It's just perfectly placed on her cheek.
Yeah, I
and
did
it
see
like
that one.
it
Glistening.
glistens in the sun.
I was like,
Sobbing.
It was so, I loved on the radio when Carlos was like, where's Charles? Tell him to drive near me so we can celebrate this
Yeah,
together.
that was so
Yeah, oh, she's
nice.
crying again. Here she goes. The
She's
pregnant
crying.
hormones coming out.
the thing
But
is, like,
superhuman
probably would cry even if I
effort.
wasn't pregnant.
15 days ago, has an organ removed.
Yeah.
Doubts if he's even going to race. He was walking around the paddock looking like he was in pain.
Yeah.
He didn't look comfortable. We'll give him that.
Our
And to
laptop
pull that
died.
one out.
I love how he like lifts. There's a photo of him lifting up and he's got like the gauze on his
Yeah.
stomach.
Yeah.
He's all still, all bandaged up.
Actually, that was something that we kind of forgot to mention. But on Thursday when we were in the paddock, remember we had a lovely chat to Oliver Behrman and Liam Lawson. Chatting to Oliver, lovely boy. And he kind of broke the news to, we were like, so you're going to race? Are you not going to race?
Yeah,
What's
he
going to
was like,
happen? He's like, no, unfortunately not. Like back to Formula 2. We're like, well, we really want to see you out there again,
Yeah.
which we do. But very happy that Carlos won. I can't wipe the smile off my face.
I wonder where he's going to go next year. And imagine if he,
that
I think I
quote.
said yesterday, imagine if he's the only
Christian Horner.
non-Red Bull driver to win a race again.
Quote afterwards. But I've done this and I still don't have a job
Yeah,
for next year.
true.
Yeah. Well, Christian Horner came out and said something about him being a driver who hasn't got
Yeah.
a seat next year.
I reckon Red Bull would be looking at him again.
Suspicious.
Well, there's also, I mean, it's all still unconfirmed rumours, but apparently across the Melbourne weekend, some deals have been done between a certain Red Bull team member and Mercedes.
Where'd you hear that?
In there.
What did you hear?
That apparently, and I actually saw something online as well, that Max may be coming close to a deal with Mercedes.
Drama.
So who knows if that's true? Like, I don't know who that person was that I could hear speaking. So,
Interesting.
and then, but I did see it online this morning then as well. I was like, oh,
Would I actually?
Is that
It
fact?
wouldn't surprise me at all. Also, something that I did want to mention.
Because, there is that break clause in his contract. So I'm looking at.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you guys have seen. Have you guys seen the 3 races that Carlos has won?
Oh,
in
my
his
God,
career?
yes. I saw this.
And George
And
Russell.
George's-
George Russell has crashed, DNF'd every single time that Carlos has won.
Crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
theory.
They just don't work well together. Or should they be teammates? And then they will work well together. And then I'm just imagining things.
That could be interesting.
Could be interesting.
I don't mind that.
But yeah, how's that for 3 times?
I like
I
that
don't
theory.
believe in coincidences anymore.
No.
The universe is doing weird shit over there.
It's getting a funky ass place. Speaking of funky, I did want to see Oscar on the podium. It was
I
really
thought
hard,
we
but I was
were
glad
going
it
to
was
see him.
McLaren. I was like, it's going to be a McLaren third,
Yeah.
and I didn't know who it was going to be.
Poor Lando.
Poor Lando. I'm
Not poor
yeah.
Lando, but
Like happy,
No,
happy for Lando. But I actually think poor Oscar. I mean, I understand that's just the way the sport works, and they're always going to put prioritize one driver over the other. It's just such a shame that Oscar had that 3rd place spot in his home race. Nicole would have been there watching, his family would have been there, and
His girlfriend flew down as well.
yeah, she was there too. We
There
saw
were-
her a few times.
there were
actually
quite a
yesterday.
few partners
Yeah,
around the paddock this year.
yeah. Would have loved to have seen Keka.
Mm.
But yeah, it's such a shame for Oscar. But you know what, Oscar? Next year's your year.
We believe in
He'll
you.
win
We believe
next
in
year.
you. Yeah.
I believe you
He
can
will
fly.
win.
Not singing. We're not singing. All right. Highlights and lowlights. Number one.
I was right. It's 58 laps.
Oh,
Most races are 52.
I swear yesterday was I was looking at it thinking, okay,
Because I was like, I swear to God, it's
42.
58 laps.
okay,
I just thought it was 52.
yeah.
I would have bet
was
my life on 52.
Oh.
same.
Anyway,
You were right.
I was like, I was right.
All right. Race highlights and lowlights. Well, or even just week highlight and week lowlight. Because obviously we had a huge week and so many different cool things happening.
Getting comfy.
Please don't hurt yourself.
I mean, I'm trying to think of a low light and I just can't think of any. But obviously, highlight is the double Ferrari win. It was just the best. I'm so happy. Watching, again, very emotional. I was looking down at the Ferrari garage and, they're on their last lap and they start waving the Italian flag and waving the Ferrari flag. I was like, I'm so proud to be Italian right now.
They were so loud as well.
So loud. So loud. And then just seeing Carlos come through, it's like, fuck yes. That was my highlight. Low light, I don't know. I can't think of any. Maybe come back to me on that.
The small party pies.
Yeah, the lack of food. The lack of food that we ate. My low light was, and this is my own fault, not watching the finish of the race with you guys.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's
we were
just,
lucky that we
just
kind of
Found
were
each
able
other,
to find each other.
Because
Yeah.
I was just above the McLaren
Yeah.
garage. I was like, this is my point of where I am.
yeah.
Yeah, I was
that's-
sort of
and
like
that's my own fault.
Yeah.
I went somewhere else and I got distracted.
It's kind of hard as well
And then
with
I missed the
service.
end of the race, to be entirely honest.
Like phone. See, I think because I am pregnant, I was very mindful of kind of looking after myself. So I was like, make sure I watch the beginning of the race from the top of the balcony, above the pit, and then come back down, sit in the lounge, be comfy, have some food, hydrate. And I was like, the last sort of 15 laps, I'll go back upstairs and watch the end of it. And we were lucky to find
Did you
each
go back downstairs?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's when I
throughout the day.
left you. Yeah.
Oh, not for the race.
Yeah, during the
Oh,
race.
did you? Oh.
Weren't you there with me at some point? No.
No.
Okay.
No, I
Yeah,
think
I
you
was
went
just at
down
the
with
top.
Phil.
Phil, yes, I was with Phil and a few of the Toyota people and Luke.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then my highlight I've got two, but they're people we met. Definitely Ted Kravitz because just that, I don't know, that just was a very special moment for all the hard work that we've put in. I felt like that was really rewarding.
Agreed.
But then also finally getting to meet Daniel Ricciardo after all these years. And I know obviously it wasn't his best performance, I don't know if we will see him in Melbourne next year. But that was just a little bit of a personal yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little Danny.
What about you, Ames?
There's too much that happened.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't know.
The whole weekend was a highlight.
The whole weekend. I just want to do it again.
Yeah.
I know today wasn't right. Just sitting at home working, I was like, it's not right.
I didn't leave bed.
Yeah.
I had a shower and then went straight back to bed.
And it's so hard because you're on such a high and you just think like,
it was so hard to sleep last night.
I think every night was hard to go to bed.
Oh my God, no,
You're trying to
last night,
wind
I
down
think,
and you can't.
was the first night I actually just fell asleep straight away.
Oh, you would have though.
Yeah.
What time did you get home?
2:30?
Oh yeah, I would have definitely been asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
was like,
think last night, I mean, I start at 7:30 on a Monday. So I think last night was I was able to kind of like, okay, I really sort of switched off. I was able to like spend time with Peter and, you know, we had our Maccas and then I could actually sleep. But every other night it's just like there's so much excitement and adrenaline and so much going on and so many incredible people and just I think even for the podcast, like getting so much feedback and meeting incredible people and there's just so many amazing people in the F1 world that it's just big high.
Big
Best birthday
freaking
week ever.
high.
right?
I also just want to say, just in case they're listening, but also I hope they are listening. Aus GP, thank you so
Yes,
much
thank
for
you.
hosting us so many times throughout the week and giving us access to places like the paddock where we got to, you know, create a lot of our own content, but also just getting to experience that and then putting
The
us on the
3:30 Club.
The
Yeah.
3:30 Club. We didn't actually, we haven't even spoken about that we were in the 3:30
Oh
Club.
yeah, because we were everywhere.
Yeah.
But then also
the
getting
weekend.
us,
Which was actually, side note, 3:30 Club was such a good viewing spot
It
as
was.
well. Such good food. I'm sure you guys
It was
like
all
the drinks.
kind of,
I'm like,
yeah.
coffee was great. Yeah. Just such a good spot
really
there.
good food and atmosphere.
Yeah.
But then also to them getting us on the grid as well, which
Yeah.
was just like a completely unexpected surprise. Late night email, 11 p.m.
Yeah.
on a Friday night.
So I missed it because I
Yeah.
had commitments the next day and
Yeah.
I didn't realize what it was.
But-
That's right. Next year will
next
be
year, because
We'll be
yeah,
there.
it was just something that they just slipped in for us, and it was just phenomenal.
phenomenal. Yeah. Massive shout out to Aus GP
Yeah.
fam. We love you guys. You all individually have done so much for us and we will forever be appreciative. And
I mean, Trav kept checking on us
Yeah.
all week. How
Yep.
you going? You all right? Do you need anything? Like everyone from the team did. So you made us F1 girlies dreams come true.
Very happy girls.
Oh, yeah.
yes, very happy girls.
Living
and
on an absolute high. We all got to kick some goals that we have all had like as a group and individually, which I think is really special.
And I think as well, you know, it's kind of been hard to like recap the weekend in like such a short episode, but
We'll make a highlight reel of
yeah. And I think we also
Yeah.
just want to
points.
keep like producing really good content for our listeners and growing and we want people to get as much out of it as what we do. So also we want to know what people want to hear and like what people want to know also about like our experience at Aus GP. We want to hear about everyone else's experience at Aus GP. Also like, you know, shout out to our good friend Luke. We had a great time with you.
He's the
A
best.
lot of the other F1 content creators,
to be
such
able
great
to
time.
watch the Grand Prix with Luke after we've spent
Yeah.
a few episodes recording together. It's very special.
He's our honorary Paddock 43 member.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, BWT fam, we love you.
My brain has checked out.
All right, we're going to check out of here. It's time for go to bed. If you want to see all the rest of the content from the Australian Grand Prix weekend, then please head to our Instagram and TikTok and make sure you give us a like and a follow on all your platforms.
And yeah, like, subscribe, and keep
Leave a
the
review.
conversation going. Leave a review. We want to keep chatting. Please reach out to us. Thank you for all the fans as well that came up to us and like and actually said,
Yeah.
"Hey, you're
Yeah.
Paddock 43."
And if you want to win some Mahana wine, we still have a competition running. There's still
Yes,
one more
one more
week
week.
left.
Is
Yes.
there another week left
Yep.
still? Wow.
Yep. We gave everyone some time, so they've still got a week left.
Yeah, so let's
It's on our
kind of
Instagram.
relax after the Aus GP high, and they've still got a week to put in the hard work to win a delicious box of wine, which
Delicious.
I will
Yum.
hopefully be trying in a few months.
All right, we'll get out of here. Bye.
We love you guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Can I actually add something to add to the podcast as well? all I wanted to say was I actually want to give myself a shout out and a tap on my shoulder because I am in my 3rd trimester and I did all that. And baby boy was
Facts.
kicking. Yeah.
Solid effort. I think
Yeah.
you've got an F1 driver in there.
Well, baby
For
boy was
sure.
kicking when we were above the pit and he could hear the engines. And I'm like, yes, you better get used to that
Yeah.
because that's your future.
There'll be lots more of it.
Blue smoke. Fire.